Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's live session of daily synthetic analysis, where today we are going to be analyzing the synthetic market, showing you step by step how to analyze the market, how to analyze the volatility pair, and the step indices pair. So today we'll be looking at each of these pair, check what the market has for us. If we find the setup, we'll trade. If we don't find the setup, we'll sit on our hands. So if this is your first time of watching or joining my live session, do well to subscribe so that tomorrow you'll be notified when I go live. Because on this channel, we go live 6 to 7 a.m. every single day. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the link on your status on your social media platform so that other people who are interested can easily join. So what we'll do right now is I'm going to be sharing my screen with you, analyze this pair with you step by step. Which one, anyone that you don't understand, do well to ask your question in the comment section and I'll see you on the other side. So let me share my screen with you right now. Let's get started. So every day, what we do here is that we analyze the volatility pairs and also the step indices pair. So at the moment, we don't do analysis on majority of those pair, but as time goes on, I'm going to be responding to your request. If you want me to analyze the currency market, I will do that. If you want me to analyze the like any market, even in the crypto market, yes, I'm going to do that. But at this point, we are sticking with just the synthetic market at the moment. So the first pair on our list we are going to be checking out today is V100. Okay, and there's some analysis I'll be doing today that if you are joining for the first time, it's going to be a bit confusing. But what you should need to do is that you go to the playlist on this channel. Advanced market structure is the model we trade. We have break everything down step by step. And with that way, you can be able to follow up and then get a clearer understanding of how this whole structure trading model works so that you too you can get a clearer understanding of it. And that's it. So first of all, we are going to be starting with V100. So on V100 today, what do we have? You know, the first approach when doing your analysis is the fact that you need to start from the higher time frames, continue higher time frame direction. You know where price is coming from, and then focus on where price is going to. So once you get this thing right, these two right, where price is coming from and where price is going to, once you get it right, trade becomes more easy because you know that okay, price is coming from this point and then it's heading to the other point. That way you can easily follow it, you know where it's going to. But when you don't know where the trend is coming from or where the price is coming from and where it's going to, it will be more difficult for you to know, okay, I need to follow this direction, I need to follow this direction. You'll be more confused. Okay. If you are traveling and a car is coming from somewhere and you don't know where the car is going to, you will never follow that car. That is why you know you always ask the driver on the road, where are you going to? And then the driver will tell you, then you'll be rest assured that, okay, at the end of the day, I am going to get to this destination. So it's the same thing when you are trading. You know that price is coming from so, let's say for 300, for example, you know that, let's say you are trading gold. You say gold is bearish at the moment, okay? And gold is going to drop from 4,000, it's going to drop from 4,000 to 2,000. That way, you can start selling gold, but you don't know where gold is coming from and where gold is going to. Based on your trading model, you will not be able to trade that pair because you don't know the direction of where it's coming from and where it's going to. That is why it's always good to do your top-down analysis, understanding where the price is coming from and understanding where price is going to. That is what we are going to be doing today. So once we do our analysis on the higher time frame, we'll scale down to the lower time frame to look for our setup so that we can follow our setup on the lower time frame until price get to its direction on the higher time frame. Understood? Okay. So today now I'm going to be showing you what we do every day on this channel. Our trading system, if you are joining for the first time, this is how our trading model look like. Okay. We have price moving higher high like this, and then we have it breaking, taking out this right. Then we have price retracing back to take out this liquidity, which means it has sweep it. So once it sweep it, it gives us a high, another high at this point. Okay, we call it our protected high. Now this liquidity, we call it our transactional liquidity, which is used for correction. Price taking out low. Once price take out this low, then we'll see that price will come and take out this low. Once price take out this low, we now have our first break of structure. Now this high becomes our protected high. Okay, and then we see price retrace 50% to give us a structural liquidity, which is used for continuation. Then we see that price will break this newly created low to give us our second break of structure this way. And from there, we see that price will retrace back 50%. Price will retrace back to this zone, which is now becomes our POI, taking out the structural liquidity out and then sell to the opposite direction. So this is what we look at for every day on the market. So this becomes our first break of structure. This becomes our second break of structure, and then this becomes our protected high right here, and then this is our transactional liquidity, our first sweep of liquidity, and this becomes our second sweep of liquidity. And the whole of this zone from this protected high to the top of this second sweep of liquidity, which is also known as the structural liquidity, with this point then becomes our point of interest, right? And since we have this point of interest, our entry begins from this zone. This becomes our stop loss, and then this is where the price is going to. This is where price go to. So basically, what I explained about top-down analysis is that when you see this on the higher time frame, when you see this on the higher time frame, when you see this structure on the higher time frame, take for example on the weekly time frame or on the daily time frame. Okay, once you see this on the weekly time frame or the daily time frame, price will begin to move in this direction. And once price start moving in this higher time frame, this becomes the target that price is going to get to. So this direction you are following on the higher time frame, take for example on this weekly or the daily time frame, the price is going to start selling from here, and then this is going to be the final TP, the full TP on the 24-hour time frame. So now you scale down to your 4-hour time frame on this lower time frame. Okay, on your 4-hour time frame, you scale down to you look at for this on the 4-hour time frame or on the 1-hour time frame. Then when you look at for this on the 1-hour time frame, you still look out for this same pattern like this on the 15 minutes time frame. Then you ride it until it smashes its target. So price can be giving you 24-hour time frame direction, weekly time frame direction. Then you go to the lower time frame, higher hourly time frame, which is like the 4-hour time frame and the 1-hour time frame. You still look out for this same pattern. Okay. And now when you look out for this same pattern, it's going to start giving you this type of continuation setup. So you start taking it until price smashes its target. So that is basically what we'll do. We'll go to the 24-hour time frame to look for direction, come to the 4-hour time frame to find our structure, and then we'll go to the 15 minutes time frame to look at for our continuation setup. So today let's check out V100s. Let's check what V100 is, V step volatility 100, as so that we can easily do our analysis today, and we'll see if we are going to find any setup or not. So first of all, V100 has a sweep of liquidity here, which is transactional liquidity, and then we have price gives us a newly created high here. Okay, and once price gives us newly created high, it traces back to break this newly created low that give us our first sweep of liquidity. And after that, price retraces 50% to give us our structural liquidity, which is this. And after price gives us our structural liquidity again, it retraces back to take out the newly created low, giving us our second break of structure. After that, then we have our point of interest. So what is expected of price to do? Price is expected to tap into this point of interest and then give us a 4-hour continuation or a 1-hour continuation, something that look like this. 4-hour continuation like this. A 4-hour continuation like this, then we can start taking. Then once we see our continuation on the 4-hour, just like this, and then price tap into our 4-hour zone. Remember, this first zone is at least 4 hour, okay, and it's just for direction. And once price tap into our 4 hours, then we'll look out for another continuation like this on the 4-hour. So when price tap into our 4-hour zone, then we can start anticipating continuation on the 15 minutes time frame, just like this. And our trade. And then we can start taking our trade. You see this history of the whole of this thing before we start taking the trade. So on 24-hour time frame or weekly time frame, go to the 4-hour time frame or 1-hour time frame. Then you still look out for the same pattern on the 1-hour time frame, on the 30 minutes time frame, or 15 minutes or 10 minutes time frame. Then you start taking this trade. Now on this 4-hour time frame that you start taking continuation on the 15 minutes, this 4-hour time frame low is going to be your final TP. So once price take it out, you now start looking for another structure on the 4-hour time frame or on the 1-hour time frame. So basically, that is what to keep doing. So the next pair you are going to be checking out is V30S, because currently we don't have anything on V100. So V30S, yesterday, if you join the live analysis, you will see that we did an analysis on V30S on the 24-hour time frame, where we anticipate prices tap into our point of interest. And start moving to the opposite direction. So first of all, we have this on the 24-hour time frame, a sweep of liquidity here. We have price retrace 50%. We have price retrace to break the newly created low to give us our first sweep of our first break of structure, which was this yesterday. And then price retrace 50%. This is more than 50%, but it's more than, as far as it's more than 50% is valid. So price give us our 50% retracement to give us our structural liquidity. We can call it our second sweep of liquidity, and it's retraced back to break this newly created low to give us our second sweep, second break of structure. And price gives us this POI. What does price do? Price tap into this POI and is trying to sell to the opposite direction. So let's go down to the 4-hour time frame if you are going to find something tangible on that time frame. So currently on the 4 hour time frame, nothing is really happening on the 4 hour time frame. So from there, we check the 1 hour time frame. If we are going to see anything happening on the 1 hour time frame, okay, what we have on the 1 hour time frame is this. If price does this, or we are anticipating, then we are going to be taking and we are going to be expecting setup on V30S. Just as this, we have our super liquidity, we have our protected high, we have first break of structure, we have our structural liquidity, and then we are anticipating price to do something like this. Once price do something like this, we are anticipating it to come into this zone. Remember, this is the 1 hour time frame. Then we'll start looking for our continuation until the price take out this target, this low below here. So that's what we're anticipating. Once price does this, come out to this zone, then we'll start anticipating trade. But if it doesn't, definitely it's going to do something like that before it smashes the 24-hour target. Currently, there's nothing on V30 here, so we'll move on to the next pair, which is V91S. Let's check V91S. Let's see what it has for us. Okay, first of all, V91S has been bearish on a daily time frame. It has been really bearish on a daily time frame. So what are we going to do? Let's check where it's coming from and where it's going to. Clearly, you can see we have a sweep. We have a sweep here. Look at the sweep. Have a sweep of liquidity here. Remember, this is the 24-hour time frame. And then we have our protected high, which is here. Okay. This becomes our first break of structure after price retreats back to take out the newly created low on the 24-hour time frame. These zones, this become our structural liquidity that price needs to take out and continue to the opposite direction. And this is our second break of structure, which is this. If you're joining us for the first time, I hope you understand what we are doing here. What we are doing here is we are analyzing the synthetic indices market step by step, and we are looking out for any possible setup we can find today so that we'll be able to trade. And on the synthetic market is open 247 on either Saturday or Sunday, and news doesn't affect it. So for someone who like trading, synthetic market is one of the best markets you can start. And if you are finding a way to get started with it, you need to have what they call a broker. And for you to get access to the link, you check the description of this video. Okay. And I also drop a step-by-step guide how you can go about it in my Telegram community. So you can also get access to the link to my Telegram community in the description of this video. And don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. So moving on, you can see that this is the 24-hour time frame. So this is what we are going to be using as our direction. So price started selling from this POI. You can see that it has tapped a structural liquidity and it starts selling from this POI. Okay. The reason why it tapped into this structural liquidity and it's always dropping is the fact that this structural liquidity is used for continuation. So once price take it out, it will always continue to the opposite direction. And now that price has done that, price is continuing to the opposite direction. So this point is the starting point, and the finish point of this trade is down below here, which is this point below. So now, what do we do after we get our direction on the 24-hour time frame? We go to the 4-hour time frame and check. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame and check if we have a continuation on the 4-hour time frame. Now, looking clearly on the 4-hour time frame, you can see that we have a sweep at this point. This is our sweep. This is our protected high. And this is our break of structure. After this break of structure, we have price retrace 50% to give us our structural liquidity, which is this. Alright. Then after that, we have price return back or retrace back to break the newly created low to give us our second break of structure. So currently we have first break of structure, second break of structure, first sweep of liquidity, second sweep of liquidity, and we have our point of interest. Which was this. So now that price has tapped into it, it's selling to the opposite direction. So what is our next job to do on this tree? What is the next thing that is expected of us to do next? Next thing is we'll scale down to the 15 minutes time frame and check if we will find the 15-minute continuation. So currently on the 15 minutes, we don't see anything yet. We haven't seen anything on the 15 minutes. So once you check a pair and you don't see a setup, what do? You wait out for it. You wait it out until another one forms. So I'm going to be checking the next pair we have on our list. Let's check V25X, volatility 25X. Okay. Before now, we did analysis on this pair. We've been waiting for it for the past weeks now. Since when does this take as the structural liquidity? This structural liquidity was taken out on 14th of January, and today's date is 23rd of January. So we've been waiting for it for a week plus now, if not 2 weeks. So this is what we are anticipating on V25 one is on the 4-hour time frame. We have this structure that we are waiting for price to tap into this POI and start giving us a continuation on the 4-hour. And on the and another we have another recent structure here on the 4-hour time frame. We're anticipating price to tap into the point of interest and start giving us continuation on the lower time frame so that we can start taking it. Okay, so that this is what we have on V25 1S. So without wasting much of our time, we move to the next pair on our list, which is V75 1S. Let's see what V75 1S is doing. It's something that we can start anticipating price on. Okay, now on the 24-hour time frame, V25 1S give us a 24-hour time frame direction. Okay, so clearly you can see that we have our first sweep of liquidity here, which is used for correction, and then we have our protected high, which is this. From there, we let's break the newly created low to give us our second break of structure, which is this, and then we have price retrace 50% to give us structural liquidity, which is this. And this zone becomes our point of interest. And this is our second break of structure. So this is the starting point, and this here is going to be the finish point on the higher time frame direction. So what do you do next after you find something like this? You scale down to the 4-hour time frame to check if you are going to find the continuation on the 4-hour time frame. So currently what we have on the 4-hour time frame is not really clear on the 4-hour time frame. So let's go to the 1-hour time frame. So on this 1 hour time frame, we have this. We have our sweep of liquidity, which is this. And then we have our first break of structure, which is this. And then we have price retrace 50% to give us our structural liquidity, which is this. Okay. And from there now, what do we have? We have our protected high, which is this. On this protected high, we have price giving us this protected high. Now, after the structural liquidity, price retraces back to take out this newly created low, giving us our second break of structure. Okay, now this now becomes our type 1 setup, or you can call it an A plus setup. First break of structure, second break of structure, first sweep of liquidity, second sweep of liquidity. Okay, that's to make the name easier for you when you want to call it. So this zone now becomes our point of interest. This becomes our point of interest. Now, this point of interest, we are anticipating price to come into this zone, correct, and start giving us continuation on the lower time frame, such as the 15 minutes, the 10 minutes, and the 5 minutes. Then we can start executing. Okay. Now, I've break this lesson down for you in the place of the advanced market structure. You can learn it step by step, get a clearer understanding, so that whenever I'm teaching, it will be more easier for you to catch up. Because everything, the total explanation of this whole business, of this whole trading model, is quite long. We cannot break it everything down within just 1 hour. That is why I'm always urging you guys to work and always understand my analysis. And for those of you that have been joining me for the past days, I think things are becoming clearer to you by now. And if you have any question, don't forget to always ask in the comment section. All right, so we'll continue. So once price tap into this POI on the 1 hour time frame, you will start looking for continuation on the 15 minutes, 10 minutes, and 5 minute time frame. So this is what we are anticipating on V75. So until it tap into this POI, we will be sitting on our hands and be waiting for what is going to happen next. Okay, now let's move on. The next pair we have on our list is V15-1S. V15-1S. Okay, starting from the 24-hour time frame on V15-1S, we don't have anything currently on it, and even if we have, there's nothing clear on the V15 time frame. V15 is not really clear at the moment. Okay, then we'll scale down to the 4-hour time frame and check if you are going to find any structure on the 4-hour time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, what we have on this 4-hour time frame is this. Price was selling from somewhere around here. Let me mark it out. Let me first mark this. You can see that we have our sweep of liquidity, which is here. Okay, this sweep of liquidity was here, and then we have our protected high close to it, and price give us our first break of structure after sweeping the liquidity. Now price retraces 50% to give us structural liquidity here, which is this. Now price needs to take out and continue to the opposite direction. So after price does that, okay, we have price giving us our PUI, which is this, and then this becomes this around this zone is our second break of structure. So after the second break of structure, what do we have next? We are anticipating price to tap into this zone and start selling to the opposite direction. So if I scale down to the 15 minutes time frame, you will see that there are series of continuation on the 15 minutes. Okay, there are continuation on this 15 minutes that we should have taken, but price has already smashed its TP. So there are some we were able to take, and there are some we mix, and there are some that doesn't give confirmation. So this price has already smashed TP. If you can look closely, this line below here has been crossed, which is this. Okay, so price has smashed its target. And what does price does? What do you do when price smashes target? You don't take that trade anymore. You don't take any trade on V15 anymore. So currently, V15 has smashed its targets, and we are done with V15. So the next recent price action that we are seeing on V15 is this. So this is what you are going to be anticipating. First of all, you need to open your eyes so that I can easily spot all of this. So first of all, we have this. Our first sweep of liquidity, which was this, and then we have our protected high, which is this. Okay, and we have price retrace 50%, price retrace to take out the newly created high to give us our second break of structure, which is this. And price retrace 50% to give us our structural liquidity, which is this. Okay, and then price return back after giving us our structural liquidity to take out the newly created low, giving us our second break of structure, which we call type 1 setup, and this is it. So now we're anticipating price to come into this zone again. This is another zone and start giving us series of continuation on the 15 minutes, 10 minutes time frame so that we can execute until this to take out its target. So this is what you're anticipating on V15-1S. Okay, you can be on the lookout. Whenever price tap into the POI, you can hop on the trade. And I'm also monitoring whenever I see a setup or any of this, I will share it with the Telegram community. So if you are here to join the Telegram community, don't forget to join before you leave. And if this is your first time of watching this live, what we do on this channel is we analyze the synthetic market from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. every day. So for you not to miss out on tomorrow's if you are watching this on replay, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you'll be notified whenever I go on live. Alright. So on the V15, this is what we are anticipating. Okay, once it does this, we'll start looking for continuation. So the next pair we are going to be checking out is step 500. Let's check out step 500. Let's see what it's doing. All right. So starting from the weekly time frame, step 500 is bearish. Give us a continuation on the five on the weekly time frame. So definitely it's bearish. So what we are going to do now is going to 4-hour time frame. For those of you that were here yesterday, we showed you guys the 4-hour time frame continuation that we've been taking. Okay, there are some you can see our super liquidity at this point. This is our super liquidity, and then this is our protected high. So we have this protected high. Price retrace back to take out the newly created low, giving us our first break of structure, which is this, and price retrace 50% to give us our structural liquidity, which is this. Okay, and then price retrace back after giving us our 50% retracement to give us our second sweep of liquidity or our structural liquidity. You take out this newly created low and we have our second break of structure. On the weekly time frame. So once price give us this on the 4-hour time frame, okay, then we'll go to the 15 minutes time frame or the 10 minutes time frame to look out for continuation. So this becomes our point of interest. So price is expected to tap into this zone and then continue to each direction. So this is where price is heading to. Okay. Currently it's retracing. So it might get up here and start selling to the opposite direction because of the move it has earlier. Okay. So now So we have this on the 4 hour time frame. So now we've gotten where price is coming from on the weekly time frame and where it's going to, which is our direction. We now have a structure on the 4 hour time frame. So on this 4 hour time frame, we are going to start looking for continuation on the 15 minutes time frame. So let's go to the 15 minutes time frame and check if we have a continuation on this 15 minutes time frame. So currently what you are seeing, there is nothing happening on the 15 minutes time frame. And because of that, we are going to sit on our hands until our trading model shows up. Okay, so we don't need to force any trade. So now they go to the next price on our list, which is step 100, step 100 index. On this step 100 index, starting from the weekly time frame, price has take out its target on the weekly time frame. And currently you can see the trend is on a bearish trend, heavily bearish. And let's go to the 4 hour time frame if you find something there on the 4 hour time frame. So on the 4 hour time frame, we've been anticipating a move like this. We've been anticipating this move. Hopefully it's come to our UI. So if you can see clearly, we have our sweep of liquidity. Then we have our first break of structure, which is this. Price retrace 50% to give us our structural liquidity, which is this. And then this is our protected high here. Okay. Price retrace back to break the newly created low, giving us our second break of structure, which is this. And then this zone becomes our point of interest. This is our point of interest. So we're anticipating price to come into this zone, up into this zone, and start giving us continuation on the 15 minutes time frame. UI and they start selling to the opposite direction. So this is what you're anticipating on the 15 minutes time frame. If price When price tap into this POI and start pushing to the opposite direction, we start anticipating continuation. Okay, so this is what you have on step 100. So let's move on to the next pair and check what we have here. The next on our list is V10S. Let's check out V10S. Now on V10S, on the weekly time frame, V10S is bearish, is bullish, and it's yet to smash its target. Right now, since we don't see any continuation on the 24-hour time frame, let's go to the 4-hour time frame. If you are going to find our pattern on the 24-hour time frame, on the 4-hour time frame. So currently we don't have anything here. Price is just on a bearish move, but this is just a retracement. So this is just a retracement. So price might do something like this to give us our trading model. It's going to be something like this, and then boom, and come back to this zone and start giving us our buy structure that we are anticipating, so that we can start taking continuation. Okay, start taking continuation. And start giving us stuff like this, and then we'll start taking continuation until prices smashes the target. But this is just my speculation. It might happen, it might not happen. But regardless, we are going to be on the lookout. So we are step 10 volatility 10s doesn't have anything really good that we are anticipating at the moment. We'll just be on the lookout. Okay. And the next we are going to be checking out is V75. Let's check out V75. On the weekly time frame, V75 is bearish, it's on a bearish trend. The 24-hour time frame is on a bearish trend. You can see how bearish it look. You can see how bearish it look. So let's check out the 4-hour time frame if you are going to see anything tangible on the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, we have this. We have sweep of liquidity. We have protected high. We have our first break of structure. We have price retrace 50% to give us our structural liquidity. We have our second break of structure, and then this becomes our point of what? Interest. The price is going to definitely come into this zone, tap into this POI and start selling to the opposite direction. So when it starts selling on this 4-hour time frame, we'll start anticipating continuation on the lower time frames such as 15 minutes, 10 minutes, and 5 minutes until it take out its target. So that's basically how I trade, and this has what has been helping me. And if you also understand this model of trading, it's going to really help you as well. So there's nothing happening on this time frame yet. There's nothing really happening. Okay. So even if price give us our structure, our pattern on this time frame, we are not going to be anticipating it because currently we don't know where the price is going to. Okay. Because where it's come from, where it was coming from, it has already reached its destination. So we need to wait for the next stop and look out for where it's going next. So that is it about V75. Next, we are going to be checking is step 300. Let's check out step 300. On the 24-hour time frame, we don't have anything on step 300. Okay, and we don't want to force any trade. On the 24-hour time frame, we don't have a continuation. On the 4-hour time frame, still nothing yet. Nothing is being spotted yet. So we wait for the clearer structure to be formed. Okay, so since we don't know where price is going to on the 24-hour time frame and on the 4-hour time frame, 1-hour time frame, we won't go to the lower time frame to take any setup because we don't know where we are going to. We don't know where price is going. We don't know if price is bullish at the moment or is bearish at the moment. So that is the importance of working with the higher time frame bias. You know where price is going to on the higher time frame, you know where it's coming to on the higher time frame. So once you have these two things, you can easily enter the trade and know that okay, this is where price is going to. Let me ride along with it. So on step 300, we don't have anything currently. So let's move on to the next pair, which is Volatility 50 index. Let's check out V50 and let's see what V50 have for us. Okay, V50 starting on the 24-hour time frame is bearish on the 24-hour time frame. It has given us our structure on the 24-hour time frame. It tells us where it's coming from and tells us where it's going to. So clearly you can see our sweep of liquidity, which is right here. And then we have our protected high, which is here on the 24-hour time frame. And after that, we have this first break of structure. So price retrace back 50% to give us our structural liquidity, which is this. And from there, price return back to take out the newly created low, giving us our second break of structure, which is this. Okay, then this zone becomes our point of interest. This zone becomes our point of interest. So we can see that price tap into this zone and start pushing to the opposite direction. Now we know that price is coming from this time frame, this 24-hour time frame, and it's going to this time frame, which is this. Okay. Now let's go down to the 4-hour on the 4-hour time frame and check. Let's check out the 4-hour time frame and check. So in the 4-hour time frame, we don't have any structure at the moment. We only have this, but it's already been the structural liquidity has been used and price has matches its target. So let's go to the 1-hour time frame. If you are going to find anything tangible on the 1-hour time frame. So in the 1-hour time frame, we have this clearly. We should be anticipating this really well. Okay. Clearly, we have a sweep of liquidity, which is this. We have our protected high. We have our first break of structure, which is this. Price retrace 50% to give us our structural liquidity, which is this, and then price break the newly created low, giving us our second break of structure. Okay, and this zone now becomes our point of interest. This zone becomes our point of interest. So what is the next thing we are anticipating? We are anticipating price to come into this zone and start giving us continuation on the 15 minutes and 10 minutes time frame until price take out this target right here. So this is what you're anticipating on volatility 50 index. So this is what you're anticipating. So moving on, we'll go to the next on our list, which is V100S. On V100S, what do we have? Starting from the 24-hour time frame, V100S is bullish, and 24-hour time frame, V100S is bullish as well. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame if you are going to find a 4-hour time frame continuation. So in the 4-hour time frame continuation, we have this. This is what you're anticipating. We have a buy structure on the 4-hour. We have sweep of liquidity. We have our structural liquidity. We have our protected low. We have our first break of structure and second break of structure. Now we're anticipating the price to come back into this point of interest and start giving us continuation on the lower time frame, such as 15, 10 minutes until it take out this target. So this is what we're anticipating on V100S at the moment. Hopefully it does what we are anticipating. So moving to the next pair immediately, we have step 200. On step 200, step 200 has been bearish, okay, and we have this daily sell we are anticipating for price to come and tap into the zone. Okay, this is the daily sell. So this is our sweep of liquidity. This is our protected high. This becomes our first break of structure. Price retrace 50% to give us our structural liquidity, which is here, and then we have our second break of structure, which is here. This zone now becomes our point of interest. Okay, so we're not going to be doing anything yet until price tap into this our point of interest. Then we'll know the next thing to do, which is going to the 4-hour time frame or the 1-hour time frame to look out for our continuation structure, and then scaling down to the 15 minutes, 10 minutes, and 5 minutes for continuation setup. Okay, so if price doesn't come back here, until price comes back here, we don't have anything to do with step 200. Let's check the next pair now, which is step 400. On step 400, what can you see? On the 24-hour time frame is bearish, but currently we don't know if it's bearish or it's bullish on any time frame because it has smashes its target and currently it's trying to restructure back. Okay, so this is what you have on step 400. It's not bearish at the moment, it's not bullish, we don't know its direction. So we'll wait out until it gives us something tangible, then we can start taking trade on it. So the next we are going to be checking is V51S. V51S. From the weekly time frame, V51S has smashed its target on the weekly time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, the 4-hour time frame has been consolidating for days now. Okay, so we don't have anything tangible on step 400 on V51S. Let's check the 1-hour time frame and see if you're going to find anything good. Still yet, there is nothing happening on this time. Nothing is happening here. So I think we'll just sit out and watch, because yesterday I explained something about how price take out this week and we validated this structure. So on V50 we don't have anything currently happening on V50. So the next pair we are going to be checking is V25, which is the last for today. On the weekly time frame of V25 index, the trend is bearish. Alright, the trend is bearish on the weekly, and on the 4-hour time frame, let's check out what we have on the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, we still don't have anything tangible on the 4-hour time frame on V50 on V25 1S. Let's check the 1-hour time frame. So you can see something like this is forming. You can see something like a sweep here, structural liquidity here, protected high. But let's check if this is up to 50%. Unfortunately, it's not up to 50%. So currently we don't have anything on V25 1S or V25 index. Okay, so what we are going to be doing is we are going to be sitting on our hands. So the whole of today we've analyzed 14 pairs so far, which is analyze step 100, step 500, volatility 100, volatility 30, volatility 90 1S, volatility 25, V75 1S, V15, V10S, V75, step 300, V50, step 100S, step 200, step 400, V50S, and V25. And we haven't gotten any continuation, we haven't gotten any setup. So we are going to be sitting on our hands until something good comes up, and I'll be updating every one of you in the Telegram community. So if you are yet to join the community, do well to join before you leave this live. And if you are joining for the first time or you are watching this video on replay, make sure that you subscribe so that whenever I go live, you'll be the first to get the notification. And you also join and learn one or two, learn how to trade, learn how to take trade, and lock in 2026. Okay, so we've come to the end of this today live synthetic daily analysis section. So same time tomorrow we'll be here 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. same time, same place, the same person. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and make sure you have a great day ahead. And for those of you that are yet to join the Telegram community, the link is in the description of this video. And the broker I use to trade synthetic indices, because most of those pairs you can't find it another broker, is called Deriv broker. The link to register is on the description of this video. Also click on it to register deposits, and then we can take the same rate together. So I'll see you guys tomorrow by 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. with 3 to 7 a.m. So have a nice day, enjoy your day, bye.